La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, based in Latin American folklore, tells the tale of Maria, a peasant woman with unmatched beauty who married a nobleman with whom she had 2 sons. Now, as most urban legends do, the origins of this story vary, but it is said that as the years passed, so did the beauty of Maria, and in return, so did the affection of her husband, who reserved all of his time and love for his sons. One day, as Maria is walking down the river with her 2 boys, she catches her husband with a younger woman and out of jealousy, rage, and anger, throws her 2 sons into the river. Quickly realizing her terrible mistake, she jumps into the raging rivers after them but is unable to rescue them, taking her own life in the process. Legend claims that because of her sins, Maria is cursed to walk the earth night after night searching for her 2 sons, and legend claims that her cries of sorrow and pain can be heard by those who encounter her. Considered by many to be nothing more than a myth told by parents to their children as a warning to not wander alone at night, lest the weeping woman La Llorona will steal your soul. However, residents of a small village in Piedecuesta, Colombia would disagree because one night in 2017, it seemed that La Llorona came calling.
Gallinas, muéranse.
Witnesses claim that these terrifying screams could be heard for over an hour, and despite numerous residents along with local police searching the vacant property, no one was ever found. However, police did find something: a mysterious white dress, confirming local beliefs that the screams they heard came from La Llorona, who legend claims wears a white dress as she searches for her 2 sons. In fact, they believe this truth to be so real that the local police burned that very dress that very night on the sidewalk, which may not have been the best idea. Locals claim that the screams of La Llorona were heard night after night for nearly 6 months, until priests arrived and blessed the property with holy water, finally putting these terrifying screams to rest. Slenderman. Probably the most controversial of the urban legends, Slenderman, unlike its counterparts, actually has a known origin. And even more, this origin is 100% fiction. Created by Eric Knudsen, aka Victor Surge, in 2009 as part of a paranormal photo contest on the creepypasta internet forum Something Awful. Using old black and white photos of actual children at play, Victor photoshopped a thin, unnaturally tall humanoid with a featureless face into the background. Wearing a black suit and tie, this supernatural being preyed on people, particularly children, abducting them, never to be seen again. Adding to the creepy factor and the lore of this creature, Victor did something that no one else in the competition did. He included supposed quotes from the witnesses describing the abduction of these children and giving the character the name the Slenderman. We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. Read the quote from the first photograph with the caption, 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. The text on the second photo told the tale of the photo itself, where it was found and the mysterious events that surrounded its discovery, with the caption reading, 1986, photographer Mary Thomas, missing since June 13, 1986. The inclusion of the text turned this from a photo to a story, leaving an opening for a variety of additions that creators would later add over the years. All of that being said, what makes the character of Slenderman such a popular urban legend is that despite its fictional origin, many photos and videos have emerged that seem to show Slenderman. And although 95% of these are clearly fake or made for creative content, the other 5% deserve a deeper look.
What I just found on the doll. It literally says Anna. Oh shit! Oh shit! Go, 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 go! I don't know what the hell.
But how could this be the case? We know the origins of this character, and we know for a fact they were based on fiction. So how is it possible that Slenderman could actually exist? Folklorists have suggested that because of his appeal and how quickly and to the extent in which his popularity grew, combined with the strong belief people actually had that Slenderman was a real figure, fueled his true existence into reality. In other words, we believed it so strongly it became reality. But what do you think? Now before we get into that number 3 slot, first off, if you're still watching, thank you. Next, obviously there is something about this video that you're enjoying, so do the little guy a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends about me, spread it around, and help me grow this channel. The Rake. Similar to that of Slenderman, the Rake gained its popularity through the internet, and even more similar than that, did so through the same online thread Something Awful in 2006. And even more similar than that, it has been claimed that the Rake is actually the proxy to the Slenderman. However, the true origins of this creature are unknown, with accounts said to date back as far as the late 12th century. That being said, the modern popularity of the Rake began in the summer of 2003 when several mysterious events involving a strange, human-like creature took place in the northeastern United States, sparking massive media interest with several stories along with photos being published. However, just as quickly as these stories began, a blackout seemed to take place, halting all information, photos, and anything else involving these incidents, with all previous information and photos being lost or destroyed in the process. The Rake has been described as a tall, thin, hairless humanoid with black eyes, often walking on all fours and making a terrifying growling sound.
And it was standing, we think, right in this where I'm standing right now. And my friend's inside right now, but I'm getting this footage. And did you just fucking hear that? That was fucking it. Oh. Fuck this, I'm out. Fuck this.
As to this creature's intent, no one really seems to know. In some cases, the Rake seems to be a demon-like being who haunts the nightmares of people, in some cases driving them to suicide. In other cases, the Rake is viewed as a curse cast upon the land hundreds of years ago by Native Americans whose land was taken from them. However, to some, the Rake is a benign creature that lives in the woods, often watching but never interacting, unless provoked.
I don't want to hurt you. 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 I just...
Whatever the case may be, the fact is hundreds of people have claimed to encounter this creature, and in some cases managed to capture photo or video evidence in the process. And, of course, like anything else, 95% of these can easily be explained as fake or hoaxed. However, there is always that 5% that remain a mystery and continue to fuel the urban legend that is the Rake. Now, in the end, like any other myth or legend involving the paranormal, just about everything is up for speculation or debate, which in the end only fuels said myth or legend even more, because the longer the legend persists, the larger the myth will grow, which in turn really makes the truth irrelevant, because for most of us, fear will always outweigh logic. But what do you think?
Oh my God! Go, 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 go! Oh my God! You dropped the flashlight! Get the gun! Get the gun! Hello? My God! What the heck?